What's up, everyone? We're going to tell a story. We're going to talk a little bit about the world, about the nature of our reality, this revolution that we're facing right now. This time in our history, and when we face a need for a revolution, I should better say. We're alive during a time and during our history where the purpose and the need of a revolution is finally is visible. Now, that's a big statement. It's a huge statement. What does it mean for someone to say? We, at this time, have a need for a revolution. Does it mean that there needs to be violence? No. We are already seeing unrest. We see anger. We see outright rage, man. You see people demanding reparations. You see people demanding accountability. You see an old political body, old and feeble, wear down, fighting for its life, fighting for its own survival because the money must keep coming in. The blood must keep pouring. And this is all clear. This is a very complete and clear reality. You can look at the different people involved in politics and see that there's not a single lie is being told. You don't think that there's a desire for blood? Go look at Representative Brian Mast. Look at what he says. Look at what he's calling for. There absolutely is a call for blood, not by us. The world is becoming turned upside down. People think that they can justify the things that are right, regardless of how wrong they are, by simply saying they are right. People are what's allowing this world to be manipulated. People are allowing this. It's not the rulers, it's not BlackRock, it's us who don't refuse to unite. But we're going to unite. We have everything necessary right now to unite ourselves, ready, but we have to start to do so. See, people are wonder how will there be a revolution? There's a revolution now. We don't want it to be a bloody one. We don't want it to be one where there's chaos and horror and terror. But people are already experiencing that every single day. They're already experiencing that horror and that bloodshed every day. So we have artists who are finally speaking out at the awards show. We have musicians, rappers who are finally saying screw the contracts and the corporations and the companies and the labels. We create the art, the people buy the art. There need not be any third party to us. They're terrified of that. It costs them their blood. It costs them their wealth and their resources. And they have no interest in seeing it go down. See, we have to talk about these real things. Sometimes we talk about the subtle things, the soft things, but that's what the world is being fed. They're being drip fed violence. I don't know how anybody can see what's going on these social media platforms in the Middle East and not be outraged, but they're afraid. Everybody just wants to be a sheep. They just want to keep their heads down. They don't want to speak out. I'll let you share what you want to share for a second, Zanu. If it will let me. Drop back down and request again. Or stop your request and request again. It's a drip feed of violence. I don't see how anybody could possibly see what's going on and not be enraged. I'm going to deny it, and I'll invite you to speak. There's a great deal of horror and harm going on. And so we have to be willing to step up and put the type of artistry out into the world that needs to be heard. We need to step up. People are mistaken. They think America has more access and resources than we really do. Some people do, but some people are kept from having access to those types of resources. So what we have to do is push this movement forward any way we can. We're not able to receive compensation on any type of social media platforms, and that's fine. But we have to work a job and take on the same type of effort to make sure that our fellow people are being educated to the best of our ability. Otherwise, people are going to continue to perish. And now, at this time, I don't know. There's some people who are saying that the next step in the Middle East is to simply get the Palestinian people out of Palestine. Why? Oh, they can want their land, but as I've been saying for 20 years, 20 years ago, if I could have told Palestine any one thing 20 years ago, and it's not the right thing, it's just people don't understand the world anymore. You think the Native Americans wanted to see their lives destroyed and eradicated, eliminated, put onto reservations where they were told how to live? Their children were taken from them and indoctrinated in the public school systems just like the rest of children would one day be? This is what awaits most people as time will continue, is a breaking down and a separation and a reprogramming. We have to make sure our kids. You need me to plug that in for you? I'll do that in a little bit. Put it down. We have to make sure that our children. Thank you. To you as well, my friend. We have to make sure that our children don't get what's even coming next. And when I say that 20 years ago, if I could have told anything for Palestine, anything, it would have been that the Native Americans knew exactly when it was already too late what they should have done, and it was get away from people in this country, and not because it wasn't as if it was they weren't entitled to this land here. It was that the government of the United States had one set mind upon what was going to happen, and that was going to be the elimination of Native Americans to a point where they could be maintained as a form of exhibition, something to look at. And over time, these people have been able to reproduce their numbers and again build a population, but they have nevertheless been subject to drugs and alcoholism, other forms of violence, whatever resources or assets they've been given. Again, Americans have made constant efforts to try to take these resources from them through whatever means were necessary. And so for the Palestinians, what would have been best? What is best? The land is land. It's their land. But right now, the people in the world are not educated and do not yet know how to properly represent themselves. So the best thing for the Palestinians would have been to be able to come back one day to Palestine, but in the meantime stay in America where they could be protected and lives were preserved. But it's hard to do that when you're already Yes, ever since I was a young man, and I mean a very young child, I already knew these things. Yes, I studied the Bible for a very young time, for a very long time from a very young age, but I also realized through prophetic dreams and visions that humanity was moving towards this time as prophets are as stated in the Bible, but I also believe that Israel has been used by the United States because the United States' military and the way they have used their military has been very violent and horrific, and sometimes they believe justified, and I do not rule supreme. This is their government that they operate as they see fit, but they used Israel to allow a conquest to occur because Britain and United Kingdom, England, for a very long time has had their sights on Palestine for a number of reasons. But all of these things correspond and correlate perfectly with the Bible and the end time prophecy.